माइक्रोफोन ऑफ कर देना।
अशोक सर, मेरी आवाज आ रही है आपको? हेलो अशोक सर, मेरी आवाज आ रही है आपको?
यस, ऑडिबल हुआ।
ठीक है,
मेरी आवाज आ रही है आपको?
हाँ बहुत क्लियर।
बस ठीक है, सब कुछ
मैं नागेंद्र का मैसेज भेज रही हूँ सर आपको।
हाँ, वो तो ठीक है।
Yeah, Vandana ma'am, I'm in.
So thank you, but you're not visible. You're not visible to me.
Okay, but I can see
Okay,
you.
it's on. You're visible now. You're visible now, sir. Fair
Yes.
enough. You're visible now.
Okay. So can I even test my slides?
Yeah, sure, you can, sir. Please
Okay.
do.
Okay.
Please do.
Yeah. Okay. So here you are. Is this slide visible?
Are you able to, sir? Are you able to?
Yes, I can see my slides, but is it visible to you all?
No, it's very blurred.
Blurred.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm doing it again.
Okay.
Okay, how about now? Is it visible?
सर एम्प्टी है, कुछ भी नहीं दिखा, अभी भी ब्लर्ड है.
Blurred है?
Sir, your screen is visible. Determination over circumstances. It
Correct,
is visible
correct,
for
sir.
us.
Okay, yes. Vandana ma'am, it is visible to sir.
For me, it's not visible. May I know who's speaking, please?
Madam, this is Pranesh from Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu.
Okay, Pranesh. I'm not able to see actually his.
It is very clear, madam, sir's presentation.
Now it's clear. Now it's clear.
Okay.
Determination over circumstances. It's clear,
Correct,
sir.
correct.
Okay.
Yes, all right, ma'am. Okay. I was just rummaging that I mean, can we play a video or not? I guess we don't have any option such, right? We cannot play videos in Microsoft Teams.
No, please don't, sir, because bandwidth की problem बहुत ज़्यादा आती है वीडियो से.
Right. Right, right. Okay, so I'm on. I am ready to take it off.
Fine, sir. Just remain logged in, sir. Please don't sign out.
Sure, ma'am. I'll not do now. Yeah.
Few participants are not able to join. I don't
Okay.
know, there is some issue. Others have already joined.
Okay. No problem. We still have time. We still have 7 minutes in hand. I guess there is a bad bandwidth issue at your end, ma'am.
सर ने ज्वाइन कर लिया, चौबे सर ने. So, a very good morning to all of you. I hope most of you have joined. Some are still facing problem, and we are trying to sort it out. Kindly bear with us for this first session. So, we have with us for the first session Mr. Satish Anand with us. He is an. Am I audible to all of you? Can any one of you please speak up and tell me? Am I audible to all of you?
Yes,
Can
Yes,
you
madam.
hear?
Yes,
Ah,
audible.
thank you.
Audible, audible.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
So,
yes.
thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am, audible.
Okay, thank you, sir. So Satish Anand sir is an acclaimed speaker. He has authored books on number of subjects and such as circumstances grew him up and it has been released worldwide. He has conducted workshop on various topics internationally for academicians, industry professionals and students. He is a motivational speaker, singer also, lyricist, composer, soft skill trainer, and he has delivered around he's been delivering trainings from around 16.5 years. He's a regular MDP trainer at CDAC Patna since 2014. He's a regular soft skill trainer and program manager at Bihar Skill Development Mission. And as you are able to see on the screen, I've already shared. He shares so many things with us. So I request Satish Anand sir if he can hear me. So can you please start the session? And I would like to thank him for accepting my invitation on such a short notice and preparing us to give a motivational speech here. Since earlier Atal had not given guidelines to any of the coordinators to incorporate such a session. So, sir, I'm extremely sorry. I called you up on the last moment to join in. And I request all the participants to kindly cooperate if there are any difficulties, any issues, we are on the way to sort out. As you know, technology, though we have advantages of technologies, but there are certain disadvantages as well. So, trying to cope up with all that, kindly bear with us. We're trying to accommodate all of you. Satish Anand sir, can you hear my voice? If you can hear,
yes.
now the screen is all yours. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. So, good morning, everybody. I would like to start this session sharing a few stories of mine. The topic that I've chosen to deliver today is determination over circumstances. So, by these stories that I'll be delivering, you'll be able to relate that what determination can do in our lives. What is the strength that a determination has, and what difference can we have if we are determined in our lives? So let me share you my story. I did my schooling in from a school where my father was a sweeper. I passed out my 10 plus 2 in 2001, and I studied from the same school where my father was a sweeper. If I talk about my house, we had a small hut on the roadside. So when I qualified my 10 plus 2, I expressed my interest to my dad that I want to become a doctor. I wish to become a doctor. My father tried his best to put me into a coaching institute, into a CPMT coaching institute to Gorakhpur. But the problem was that we were under financial constraint. And that is why he was facing difficulty in landing me into CPMT coaching institute there at Gorakhpur. Let me tell you one thing, that I belong to a small town named Nautanwa, which is situated 94 kilometers of Gorakhpur in Uttar Pradesh towards Nepal border. So my hometown is very near to Nepal. If you talk about in kilometers distance, it is just 2 kilometers. Nepal is just 2 kilometers from my hometown. So I come from that place. So I studied from a school where my father was a sweeper. So when I passed out my 10 plus 2 in 2001, I expressed my interest to my dad, and I said him that if he could send me to Gorakhpur so that I could prepare myself for CPMT and become a doctor. So my father had no option. He had just one option. Okay, may I request participants to.
Anand sir is not audible.
Sir, you are
Anand
not
sir,
audible.
Anand sir, please unmute yourself, sir. Anand sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, now is okay, sir. Audible.
Okay. I guess it was working the starting, right?
Yes, sir,
When I,
but in between you were not audible nor visible.
okay, I guess maybe host has got the authority to unmute everybody. So maybe I got muted.
Maybe.
Okay, no problem. Okay. So I wanted to become a doctor. So I request my dad if he could send me to Gorakhpur, because Gorakhpur is the nearest city that we have. So what he did, he's the hut that we had on the roadside, usko unhone girvi rakh diya. Right. For some money, he kept that hut on lease. So he borrowed 22,000 from a lender, and then he managed sending me to Gorakhpur to prepare CPMT exam. So I was there in Gorakhpur for a year. I worked very hard, but I could not qualify. So I became very disappointed and demoralized, and I came back to my hometown. But we did not have home. As I said, that the hut was kept on lease, and uh, the person from whom my father borrowed money, he kept a condition that he'll allow us to return back to our house only once he pays the full amount along with the interest. So where were we putting up then? हम कहाँ रह रहे थे? हम रह रहे थे in the school playground. The place where my father was working as a sweeper, we had a school playground. We had a playground there. We were putting up in the school playground, having that tent kind of structure. So for 3 years, from 2001 to 2004, we were there in the school playground for 3 years, right? So as I said, I went to Gorakhpur. I prepared CPMT, but I could not crack the examination as I got disqualified. So I came back to my hometown. I felt very disappointed and demoralized. But Now I have no option. I mean, how can I say, how can I request my dad back again that can he send me Gorakhpur for one more year to prepare? But that was not possible. But because now he had nothing to sell, now he had nothing to keep on lease. It was only the hut that we had on the roadside that was already kept on lease, and we were homeless now because we were putting up in the school playground. So I decided that I will work. I decided that I'll start working and I'll provide financial support to the family so that my younger ones, so that my younger brother and sister don't come across such unfavorable circumstances and their dreams doesn't get shattered as mine got shattered. So I decided to work. I decided to work and to provide financial support to the family. So it was year 2002 when I ran away from my house. I came to Gorakhpur. I could have worked there at my place as well, at my hometown, but मेरे पिताजी माताजी मुझे वहाँ काम नहीं करने देते. So that is why I decided that I'll work in a different city where they do not interrupt. So I reached Gorakhpur. I boarded the train and then I made way to Gorakhpur. The instant I reached Gorakhpur, the instant I came out of the railway station, I saw a man who was painting a railway boundary and he was writing कॉल सेंटर में नौकरियां जॉब्स इन कॉल सेंटर आई मीन इट वाज ही वाज राइटिंग इन हिंदी कॉल सेंटर में नौकरियां कॉल सेंटर में नौकरियां so that terminology नौकरियां was something which got my attention. So I went to the painter and I asked him what kind of jobs you have. I was asking him in Bhojpuri. Let me tell you that Bhojpuri was the main language that we used to speak. Now we speak Hindi, but at that time, I mean, 18, 19 years ago, it was Bhojpuri that we were speaking in. And if you talk about English, English was out of out of our mind. I was not able to understand anything in English that time. So I approached that painter and asked him, can you tell me what kind of jobs we have? Now, he did not have any answer. He said, now, see, brother, there are jobs, but I don't know what kind of jobs we have. But it is very sure if you go to Lucknow, you will get 100% jobs there. Because the answer that, the address that he had mentioned onto that notification that he wrote on, that he painted on the railway boundary was of Lucknow. So I didn't know what is call center. Now, see, what kind of job I wanted to have was jhadu pocha job. I mean, mopping, cleaning, sweeping, because this is what my father used to do. So I thought that I'll work on these profiles and I'll make some money and I'll provide financial support to the family. So I did not give any thought. I boarded train without ticket and I made way to Lucknow. The address was second floor Radhakrishna Bhavan, Hazratganj. That was a consultancy. I went to the office. I found a receptionist. I inquired that I've come for job. She said, we have a job and the interview is going on in hotels Gomti, which is situated in Sapru Marg, Hazratganj, Lucknow. If you could go there and get interviewed. I said, all right. So I made way to Hotel Gomti, Sapru Marg, and I saw everybody had that marketing document, which we call as CV, resume, biodata, right? But I did not have any such kind of document because I was never subjected to computers before. So and everybody was well dressed. Everybody was in business attire, right? Well, I'm having that CV and the academic credentials, but I did not have any such kind of document. I found a receptionist there at Hotel Gomti as well, and I inquired her that I asked her that I want to get interviewed. She said, yes, you can, but if you have a CV, can you please furnish that? I said, no, I don't have any CV. I asked her, what is CV? She did not answer. However, I found a man there itself, and then he said, you can go to Cyber Cafe, ask Cyber Cafe person, he will get your CV ready, and then you can come down and get interviewed. So I went to Cyber Cafe, I got my profile ready. However, there was nothing as such to write. I got my profile ready and I submitted it to the receptionist. Now, I'm sure you would be knowing that 18, 19 years ago, getting a job in call center uh, was not that tough even. If you're good in English, you can easily bag a job, right? Plus, the candidates were being hired on the qualification of 10 plus 2 itself. They were not looking forward for graduation even, just 10 plus 2. So I furnished my CV and then the recruiter asked me a question, Mr. Anand, can you tell me something about yourself? I could not answer anything because I didn't get. It just bounced off. I got disqualified. Now I was under the impression that if I have to work in metros like Lucknow, one must know good English. So this was there in my, I mean, this is the impression that came in my mind. So what I did, I purchased Hindustan Times newspaper, and I started reading that loudly, and I started imitating uh, the foreigners कि कैसे अंग्रेजी बोलते हैं. And then the people who were listening me, they used to say देख देसी कौवा मराठी बोल रहा है. So I did not give any thought to anybody. So I was working harder. I was reading that newspaper. Now you see, I got disqualified from GE. The company was GE, General Electricals, which in 2008 became Genpact BPO. Right. So I got disqualified from GE, but I did not give up. I did not go back home because the objective was not yet achieved. Now you see, I wanted to become a doctor, but I could not become a doctor because circumstances had something else in store for me. Now what I become? Now let me tell you. So in Lucknow, I started finding jobs in dhabas, restaurants. I found a dhaba on Faizabad Road. Now it is Ayodhya, right? I found a dhaba on Ayodhya Road ahead of Babu Banarsi Das University in Lucknow itself. The name of the dhaba was Kartar Dhaba. I approached the owner of the dhaba, Kartar Singh, and I requested him if he could uh, give me a job. He happily gave me a job, and he said that will not offer you salary of more than 750 rupees. I said, perfect, I'm ready to work. This is the best salary that I can have, because I guess my father's salary was not more than 4,000, 5,000 that time, right? And 750 was a better deal. So I said him, okay, I'm ready to work. And he said, now see, the work is तुम्हें झाड़ू लगाना पड़ेगा, पोछा लगाना पड़ेगा, you'll have to do mopping, cleaning, and ये सब करना पड़ेगा. So I said, okay, I'm completely okay. So now you see, I became a servant at that dhaba. A boy who wanted to become a doctor could not become a doctor, became a servant at a dhaba. And I worked there at the dhaba for 22 days. Now, within in that duration of 22 days, on 19th day, I had gone to a grocery store just to purchase some grocery items for the dhaba. And returning back to dhaba, I saw a man who was sitting under a canopy and he was selling jobs. Right. So that again, that terminology job attracted me a lot, caught my attention. I went to that canopy boy and asked him, what kind of jobs you have? He said that he's offering jobs in Eureka Forbes. I'm sure everybody has heard about Eureka Forbes is a company. Manufactures vacuum cleaner. We have got AquaGuard, water purifiers, a lot of products Eureka Forbes manufactures. So that canopy boy said he has a job in Eureka Forbes and the profile is of a marketing executive. I asked him what would be the salary. He said 5,000. I said, wow. So what am I supposed to do? He said you need to pay registration amount of 500 and thereafter we'll give you the offer letter. I said, wonderful. I said, okay, brother, can I find you tomorrow at the same place here itself? He said, yes, I'll be here for next 7-8 days. I immediately went back to the dhaba and I requested Kartar Singh that if he could lend me 500 rupees the next day so that I could pay this as a registration amount to that canopy boy. So the next day I went to the registration. So the next day I went to the canopy boy and I paid him 500 rupees. And what he did, he gave me a slip. He just wrote an address and he gave me a slip and he said, okay, now you can go and you'll be getting a job. I asked him, how do I know how do I trust you that I'll be getting a job if I go to the location that you mentioned in the slip? He said, you don't worry, I'll call the gentleman, I'll explain him that a person named Satish Anand is coming and he has to be hired on profile of marketing executive. So I said, okay. Now you see the instance when I opened the slip and I read, I found the address was of Sikandrabad. The job that the canopy boy had offered me was in Sikandrabad, Andhra Pradesh. The address was Eureka Forbes, 5th floor, Babu Khan Estate, Sikandrabad. I'm talking about 18 years ago, 2002. Now you see, Lucknow was my first visit that time, right? And he is sending me to Sikandrabad where I don't know anybody. I had never been to South before. That was my first time that I visited Secunderabad. So I asked him, gentlemen, if you can offer me a job here in Lucknow, because I don't know anybody in Secunderabad and I don't have that much of money to travel down to Secunderabad and to work. He said, now see, brother, if you want to work, go. Otherwise, you can take your money back. I said, okay, no problem. I'll manage. So what I did, I borrowed money from the dhaba owner, and 23rd day, 22 days I worked there at the dhaba. 23rd day, I made way to Secunderabad. I purchased a general ticket and I made way to Secunderabad. The instant I reached Secunderabad, what I did, I went to Babu Khan Estate. I don't remember exactly how many story building it is, but I guess it is not less than 10 to 12 story. So I went to Babu Khan Estate and I rummaged each and every single floor many a times, but I did not find any office of Eureka Forbes. Now I had known that I was swindled. I was betrayed. Now you see, I cried hell a lot that day, right? I felt very disappointed and demoralized, but I had no option. So what I did, I went back to Secunderabad railway station. I sat on platform and spent time in deciding whether to go back or to stay back or to stay there in Secunderabad itself. And then I saw a group of boys picking up racks from the railway tracks. Then I got an idea that how about doing this job? So I got an idea that I should become a rack picker and I should also collect plastic bags, bottles, and the other wastage, garbages, and sell it by end of the day. So now you see, a boy who wanted to become a doctor could not become a doctor, becomes a servant at a dhaba, and now became a rag picker in Secunderabad, which is extremely an unknown city for me. So I started working as a rag picker. I was picking rags from bus stop areas. I mean, Baratifile bus stop is just next to the railway station. Sometimes railway station, sometimes drains. And by end of the day, I was making 60, 70, sometimes 100 plus bucks. And this is how I lived my life. And I did this for more than a month. As I told you, when I was disqualified from Lucknow, I had that impression that to work in metros, I must know good English. So that newspaper, I had that, right? So I was working hardly on my communication as well. However, I did not have any kind of training from anybody. I did not have any kind of guidance. But even then, I tried something. तो उसी साथ ही साथ मैं क्या करता था, side by side, I was giving interviews as well. So I had appeared for 5 interviews. The 6th interview was the interview where actually I bagged my first job. 13 November 2002, I started working for a BPO named Goldstone in Secunderabad. It was in Ashoka Bhopal Chamber, Secunderabad. So 13 November 2002, I bagged my first job and the salary was 6,300 rupees. Now see, it was now more than 2 months. It was more than 2 months that I had ran away from my house. My parents did not know where I am. I did not know how they are, in what condition they are putting up. Right. So it was more than 2 months. 5th December 2002, when I received my first paycheck of 3,800, I decided to send money order of 1,000 rupees to my parents and to tell them and make them feel proud that I've started working. And this is the first financial support that I'm sending to the family. So 5th December 2002, I called up in a telegram office. We did not have any phone at our place. It was just a telegram office that we had. So I called up the telegram operator and I requested him if he could call my dad. So the instance that telegram operator, he picked up the phone, he said, now because he was closely acquainted to me, he was closely acquainted to our family, he said, Chotu, घर आ जाओ, नहीं तो तेरी माँ मर जाएगी. He said, but Chotu is my nickname. He said, Chotu, come back home, otherwise your mother will die. What I came to know that my mother was subjected to heart attack. And the cause behind was me. Now you see, we became homeless. The cause behind was me. And this time my mother was subjected to heart attack and the cause was me. But I had no option, right? So when my father came online, he said, Ki Chotu, come back immediately. Otherwise, you will suffer throughout your life. I consoled my dad and I said him that, Father, don't worry, I cannot come as of now because I have just landed in a new job and it will be difficult for me to come back. But I promise that I'll come back in the month of Holi, that is in the month of March. But I did not go back home in the month of March. I stayed there in Secunderabad for 2.5 years until I gathered that amount of money which was borrowed from that lender, right? And then it was November 2000, sorry, it was October 2004. When I had that amount of money, I went back to my home and I gave to my dad. And then what my father did, वो पैसा उन्होंने उठा के उसको दे दिया और हमें हमारा झोपड़ी वापस मिल गया. So this is how we came back to our house. We got our house back. And let me tell you one thing, I'm speaking from the same house now. If I talk about 18 years ago, we had a hut of 10 by 12. It was 10 into 12 feet. But now if you see, this house is of more than 4,600 square feet, right? So I'm speaking from the same home. So now you say, this was my determination. This is how I started working into corporates. So I worked for Goldstone, I worked for Airtel, I worked for Telenor, I worked for Hewlett Packard. I worked on project of Hewlett Packard for more than 7.5 years. I have delivered trainings in more than 150 plus universities and colleges across Asia, right? And plus now I'm an international author as well. So now you see, it is only my determination that actually made me successful. What people understand, when they come across unfavorable circumstances, people pick up a corner and they sit back. Instead, what people should do, they should consider these unfavorable circumstances, these unavoidable situations as opportunities. If you consider these unfavorable circumstances as opportunities, they can take you to the most exciting destination where you all wish to be, and that is SUCCESS, success. So this is how I started working into corporates, and now I have 18.5 years of experience. Now, the second story, how did I become an international author? I was working on project of Hewlett Packard, that is HP, and I started writing my book in March 2014, and the manuscript was ready in just 4 months. By July, I had my manuscript ready in my hand, and I was ready to publish. I approached publishers so that I can get my book published. But you know what? 19 times my book was rejected. 19 times. July 2014, my book was ready, and July 2014 till August 2016, I mean, more than 2 years, 1 month, almost 25 months, I struggled to get my book published. It got registered 19 times. So I felt very disappointed and demoralized. So what I thought, that now I should resign from the company. I resigned from the HP project and I decided that I'll dedicate my complete time publishing my book. So वो कहते हैं ना कि कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ करना पड़ता है. What people understand कि कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ खोना पड़ता है, but ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. कुछ पाने के लिए हमें कुछ करना पड़ता है, and the same I also did. So I resigned from the HP project and I started dedicating my complete time for writing the book to get it published. 16 September 2016, I received a call from Partridge Penguin Publication US that Mr. Anand, we are ready to publish your book. Right. And right after a month, 19th October 2016, I received a mail from US saying that, Mr. Anand, you are an acclaimed author now. So now you see, this is how I became an international author and my book is released worldwide. And let me tell you one thing, that last year, I was invited in International Book Launch Festival, Bangkok, Thailand, wherein my book was unveiled under top 10 books of 2019 in Asia. Right. So now this is the recognition that I have for my book now. And this year itself, I mean, 3 months before, 29th May 2020, I mean, this year itself, 29th May, just a couple of months ago, a lifestyle magazine, Italian lifestyle magazine, Demode, unveiled my book under the best 4 books on self-help. So now see, these are the recognitions I have in writing. And this only happened because of my determination. So determination is actually the key factor to success. This is how I became an international author. Now, 10 years ago, 10 years ago, in 2009, I was hit by paralysis attack. If you see, my left doesn't work. My left hand senses energy for 13%. My right leg senses energy for 44%. And when I speak, my left edge of mouth and my left edge of eye flicks. Because 10.5 years ago, I was hit by paralysis attack. I was traveling from Delhi to Gorakhpur to my hometown, and I boarded a bus. I was traveling by bus. I was in the bus. I started sensing nervous breakdown behind my left ear. I thought maybe it is due to weakness. So when the bus stopped at a dhaba, at a restaurant, I thought to order a meal and to have some food so that I recover my weakness and I feel healthy. So the instance I thought of having my first bite, you know what happened? I could not swallow the food inside. The food came out of my mouth only because my mouth was shifted towards left. And the paralysis attack had happened. I got scared. I got I got frightened of. I thought that I should go back to the bus. I should back, I should board back the bus. Otherwise, if I am left out here, there will be nobody to take me back in the bus. So I did not do anything. I did not eat anything because I was not able to eat, neither I was able to drink. I boarded the bus and it took 15-20 minutes wherein my entire body got paralyzed. The co-passengers in the bus were abusing me badly only because the bus was stinking badly. They were thinking that maybe I'm a drunk, maybe I'm a drunkard. But let me tell you one thing, that I don't drink. I have never, I, I have never done this or done all these things, right? So the co-passengers were abusing me badly because they had a very negative impression that maybe he is drunk and that is why uh, he has done all this shit. So the bus was stinking badly because I had done pre-plumbing many a times. I hope you understand what is pre-plumbing, right? This is pre-plumbing, which we call as number one, and the plumbing number two, right? So I did pre-plumbing many times in the bus because Delhi to Gorakhpur, it is almost 18 hours of travel by bus. So the bus was stinking badly. The early morning around 4:30 a.m. when the bus reached Gorakhpur, the conductor and driver, they lifted my body up and they threw me at the bus stop. Since morning 4:30 a.m. to 2 to 3 p.m., there was nobody who came to help me out. I was literally crying out, but I was not able to help myself because I was not able to move my body even by an inch. The entire body was covered by flies and mosquitoes. There were people who were standing next to me. They were spitting down next to my body and they were abusing me badly and they were going. But nobody came to help me. I don't know how many flies, mosquitoes I would have swallowed. Right. So I was hit by paralysis attack. My right is okay now, but my left is not. So in the span of 10.5 years, 18 times, I have suffered paralysis attack on my mouth. But that's a different scene. कहते हैं ना जिंदगी आगे बढ़ने का नाम है. We should not sit with our weakness. We should always move ahead. So when my parents were calling me frequently on my number, but I was not able to respond because, as I said, that I was not able to move my body even by inch. But they knew that I'm traveling to Gorakhpur. So they traveled from my hometown, Northern to Gorakhpur, which is 94 kilometers distance. They took 2 to 3 hours. They came to Gorakhpur bus stop and they found me in such drastic condition, dreadful condition. The ambulance was called. I was taken to the medical college, Gorakhpur Medical College, wherein I was hospitalized for 4 days. Doctor gave up and said, doctor referred me to PGI Lucknow. I was taken to PGI Lucknow, where I was hospitalized for 49 days. I was feeded via pipes. Everything was happening in bed. And literally, I was praying to God, that you take everything of my body, but ensure that you keep my voice safe. Because it is only my voice by which I earn money and I support my family. So I was there for 49 days in PGI Lucknow. 49th day, I came across a job notification in a newspaper. So I decided that I will go and get interviewed and I'll start working. Let me tell you one thing, that 18th February 2010, right? I mean, the next year, when I was hit by paralysis attack, right after 4 to 5 months, my sister had her wedding. My real sister had a wedding. And कुछ दिनों पहले ही मैंने उसको I had taken her to showroom because I had promised her that I'll gift her a car, right? And now her matrimonial family also knew that his brother is going to gift the sister a car. Now you see, as I said that I was in PGI Lucknow, and at that time I was working for Telenor. I was working on Telenor's project. So I was hospitalized in PGI Lucknow and I had lost my job. There was nothing now. Only because I was hit by paralysis attack, I was jobless. But I had that tension that how will I keep my commitment, the commitment of gifting car to my sister. So when I saw that job notification in the newspaper, I felt very happy and I decided that I'm not going to miss this out because this is going to help keeping my commitment anyhow. So I took my walker up. My right was okay at that time. My left was not working. I had a walker. I took my walker and I started making way to go to that location and get interviewed. The interview was happening in Kanpur, and Kanpur is situated just 70-80 kilometers from Lucknow. So I took walker up and I started making way. My father saw me and he said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to the washroom." He said, "Shall I come along with you?" I said, "No, you don't worry. I'll just make it up." But I did not go to the washroom. I went to the bus stop, Alambagh bus stop there in Lucknow. I boarded the bus and I made way to Kanpur. When I reached Kanpur, I got interviewed. The recruiter asked me, "Mr. Anand, why it seems that you have some problem in your legs? You cannot walk as you're walking with the walker." I said, "Yes, sir. I just have a ligament fracture, but you don't worry. I'm okay. I'm ready to work." And then he said, "Why do you speak like this?" Because my mouth was towards left and मुझे ऐसा करना पड़ता था. This was the only way that I had to speak. Otherwise, my voice was not coming clear. So he asked, "Why are you doing like this? Why do you do like this and speak?" I said, "Sir, actually RCT. I have taken RCT, root canal treatment. But you don't worry, I'll be okay." The recruiter said, "No, Mr. Anand, this job requires hell." And it was HP, Hewlett Packard I'm talking about. The project was of HP. He said, "Mr. Anand, this job requires hell lot of travel, and I don't think that you are fit in, and you're not your physical fitness is not compatible. So I don't think that we should go further. We should proceed further." I requested him. I said him, "Sir, if you could keep me on freelancing, you don't hire me permanent, but if you could give me a freelancing project." And then he said, "Okay, fine, we'll give you a freelancing project." 22nd December 2009, I was sent to ITM Universe Gwalior. Now it is ITM University, and ITM Universe also we have. So I was sent to ITM Universe Gwalior 22nd December 2010, wherein I delivered soft skills training for 15 days. The feedback was very nice, and thereafter I was hired on that project of HPES, and I started working. And luckily, I could manage gifting my sister a car. The car was financed, and I gifted the car to my sister. Now, see what I know, that if you have pain in your head, you need to take medicine and need to get back to your work, because there are many, who are dependent on you. So what is more important? Important is your smile. Now that's a different scene. कि कितना दुख दर्द आपके दिल में बसा हुआ है वो दूसरी बात है, बट इंपॉर्टेंट क्या है कि आपके चेहरे की मुस्कुराहट. Your smile is very much important, because when you smile, your dear one smile. When you smile, your friends smile. So your smile is very much important. That's a different scene, that how bleak your situation is, no matter how low you have sunk, right? But important is to smile, because when you smile, there are a lot of people who smile seeing your smile on your face, right? So now you see, I'm still, I still have that problem. The left part still doesn't work. But even then, you know what? I deliver motivational talks. I volunteer a lot of mentoring sessions, and I travel across the globe, right? So this is how, I became a motivational speaker. So now you see, life is beautiful, and only we can make it beautiful. Nobody else will come down to make it beautiful, because we are the author of our own life story, right? People understand that life gives us something. Life gives us something, but it's not like that. Life doesn't give us anything. It is we who has to give our life a meaning, and we can give our life a meaning only if we don't give up. people consider that these unfavorable circumstances, these ups and downs are hurdles, are obstacles. But let me tell you one thing, these ups and downs are not obstacles. In fact, they are opportunities. For example, if you have your dear one hospitalized in ICU, intensive care unit, right? Maybe you're sitting next to that patient, and what do? You monitor that screen, right? You look at that screen, and what you see, when you see that spikes, when you see that ups and downs, you rejoice because you know that your dear one is alive. And when you see that stagnant line, you come to know that your dear one is no more. So why don't we understand in real life that if you come across ups and downs, unfavorable scenarios, please consider these ups and downs as opportunities, because these ups and downs are life, and this normal life is death. Right. So it is very much important for all of us to understand that these unfavorable circumstances, these circumstances and unavoidable situations are actually opportunities, because they come in our life just to turn us a great hero. This world needs hope. The world wants you to stand up and to make way to the most exciting destination where you all wish to be. We also need to remember that glory is not in winning. Glory is not in losing. Glory is in giving 100%. And when you give your 100%, trust me, you become a real hero. So now you see, these were my circumstances that I had in my, that I implemented, and I overcome all my circumstances. Now that's a different scene, that circumstances are part of your life. For example, if I ask you to toss a coin, and if I ask you to take a call, for example, if you say head, will you be able to take that head from that coin? Will you be able to take that head out of that coin? The answer is no, because along with that head, the tail will also go, right? So if there is happiness, there are sorrows as well. If there are ups, there are downs as well, right? If there is success, there is failure as well. So ups and downs, head and tails are the part of life, and we must face it courageously, right? So now let me take you through the slides that I have prepared. Okay, so here we are. I hope this slide is visible to everybody.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Determination over circumstances.
Yes, sir.
So, okay, thank you very much. Now you see, determination is that tool which will help you to overcome all your circumstances. So we all need to be highly determined. So we need to pick our fights for this. You know what? Every single step, every moment we come across circumstances which are unavoidable and unfavorable. But what is important? Important is that you fight against each and every circumstances every day for a better life, because you have no option, right? Somebody has said that difficult roads often lead to a beautiful destination. Right. So we need to fight against every circumstances every day for a better life, because you have no option. If you do this, you really become a hero. So that's my book that I've authored. Okay. Now, what are circumstances? Everybody is aware of, right? Events which are beyond our control, some sort of unfavorable situations, events that are quite bitter and painful. Now, see, sometimes what happens when we deliver lectures, when we, right. Okay. 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 Can I request to unmute? I guess somebody is on. Okay. So now these are circumstances. Now I'm sure you would have encountered. I'm sure you would have encountered lot many times, unfavorable circumstances during classroom teaching, right? However, each and every circumstances can be overcome, and that is only possible if we are highly determined. So these are some unfavorable circumstances, and should not worry about them, because these unfavorable circumstances are part of life. And what are the reasons behind? How do we come across unfavorable circumstances? When a plan fails. And sometimes when our luck doesn't work, means misfortune. Sometimes when our choices goes wrong. And majorly when people don't accept learnings from the mistakes. There are a lot of people, who actually do mistakes. They know their weaknesses, they know their gray areas, but even then they don't work on those gray areas. So it is very much important to learn from those mistakes. If you make mistakes, if you make the same mistakes every now and then of course there is some problem, right? So we need to understand that we take learnings from the mistakes and we overcome. So these are some reasons that actually happens when we come across unfavorable circumstances. So what should we do? Should we give up then? No, not exactly. Let me tell you one thing. You maybe you see, let me give an example. For example, there are 25 participants who are running on the racetrack, right? There is one who falls down in the racetrack while running, and now he's unable to run. Now he knows there is one who has won the competition. There is somebody who has bagged the award, right? But even then, the person who fell down on the racetrack is not giving up. He is crawling, creeping, and is trying to finish the race. He's trying to complete that finish line. Why is he doing that? Because of his determination. Now that's a different scene, that the competition was won by somebody else. But you know what? The heart of that 65,000 people sitting in the auditorium would be won by this gentleman who crawled, creeped, and completed the race. As I said, that glory is not in winning. Glory is not in losing. Glory is in giving 100%. Right? So when you give 100%, you become ultimate winner and you become a torchbearer for the society. When a person is heartbroken due to some circumstances, the most easiest thing that we see is giving up, which we should not do, because when you give up, trust me, you die then and there itself. People leave things to their destiny and hence compromise with circumstances. There are people who will come up with statements saying, "Chalo jo hoga dekha jayega. Ab to bas maine haath khade kar diye." So we should not do. We should not compromise with the circumstances. In fact, we should fight. Our present decides our future. Almost everybody is aware of them, right? Whatever you do today is going to affect your future. If you fight and negate with the problem, then your future is going to be happy, which is very true, as I did. There are a lot of people, I'm sure that you all would have done this thing. आप सबने ये सारी चीजें की होंगी. I'm sure whosoever is listening me, there is nobody who has not come across unfavorable situations, unfavorable circumstances. Almost everybody has come, right? And almost everybody has faced and overcome all the situation. But the problem is कि हम एक बार दो बार जब अनफेवरेबल सर्कमस्टांसेस के सामने आते हैं तो हम पूरा बल दिखाते हैं, बट जब बार बार परिस्थितियां वैसी आती हैं तो we give up. When we encounter frequent unfavorable situations, we get tired and we pick up a corner, which should not happen. So, but if you decide to sit back and play the blame game, then you will land into tougher situations. There are a lot of people who actually play blame game, that the situation was not favorable, right? I came across tough situation because of my friend. This happened to me because of him. So we should not play blame game. Blame game. Rather, we should stand tall and determined, and to make way to the most beautiful destination. See, for example, if a faculty prepares and works hard for the session, then the faculty is surely going to deliver the best. Now, what I mean to say is, it is very much important to prepare a proper context setting before we go to the session, right? And this even I do. So if a faculty prepares and works hard for the session, then the faculty is surely going to deliver the best, but without no context setting, there is no chance to deliver a meeting unless we won't negate, we won't be successful. So it is very much important to prepare and then to present. We should always say, hell with circumstances, because we are here to create opportunities. Bruce Lee says, to hell with circumstances, I create opportunities. And this should be the spirit amongst all of us. So because circumstances aren't permanent, everything will change. Now, how to deal with your circumstances? Find out your gray areas, do the best to improve those aspects, and the important point is don't lose hope, because the hope is the thing that will give wings to your dream. Think to your who you are. If you think you are weak, then you can never win on your circumstances, which is very true, because you become what you think. And if you think you are strong, then you can overcome any storm. So never think that you are weak. Never underestimate yourself. Make plans for future, which is definitely going to help you out, right? Consider mistakes as lesson, which we have already come across. Don't waste a good mistake. Learn from it, because there is somebody who has said that failures are step to success. Stand for yourself and for others. Very important. If you're working in team, ensure that you hold on and you don't give up. And if there is somebody who's seeking help, help him out, because this is also something which is going to build your personality like anything. There are some secret mantras which we should understand. Never give up. Neglect your problems. Trust yourself, which is very much important. Don't surrender yourself to the circumstances, and never let anyone else control your future. Sometimes what happens, our future is controlled by somebody else, which should not happen. So please ensure that you are the author of your life story. Hence, you must have command over your own future and career, and learn from mistakes. Don't give up. Don't give up. As you can see, this dog. Negate your problems for being successful. And if you follow all these things, if you become highly determined, then trust me, the winner is going to be you. In the end, I just want to conclude saying that no matter how low you have sunk, no matter how bleak your situation is, stand tall, display the determination, and be a real hero. Thank you very much.
Sir, thank you so much. It was really pleasure listening to you. बाकी आपने बहुत स्ट्रगल किया है. इतना स्ट्रगल मैंने तो नहीं किया अपनी लाइफ में, बट hats off to your मतलब determination that you could reach to such a level. एंड सर अभी ऐसा समय है कि हम आपको ना तो अपने कॉलेज की तरफ से कोई अप्रिसिएशन लेटर दे पा रहे हैं हैंड टू हैंड, ना ही कोई मोमेंटो, बट सर हमारे साथ ज्वाइन किया हुआ है हमारे ग्रुप डायरेक्टर सर प्रोफेसर मनीष चौबे सर है. सर मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी चौबे सर से प्लीज 2 शब्द कहें. सर ने पूरा आपका सेशन सुना है. सर मुझसे बोल रहे थे फोन पे कि वो बहुत अच्छा बोल रहे हैं. सर चौबे सर, if you can hear my voice, sir, please. Sir, he is very elder to us. He has been my teacher and he has taught many of us. So, Chaube sir, if you can listen to me, kindly share your blessings, sir, please.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Anand sir,
Yes,
there
sir.
are
Good
very
morning, sir.
few moments in life when such a wonderful speaker who has faced all the odds in the lives, but he has won over them. I congratulate you. Please keep it up. And your message of determination is again, I'm requesting all the participants to please assimilate that particular message which you are giving, and you have explained them so nicely. Wonderful. Keep it up. God bless you. And I'm sure the opening session of our FDP has been a wonderful, because you did speak, and we are all strain-free, stress-free, and we will follow your advice, and we will give this to our students also. Every period we will try to encourage them that determination is one thing which takes over these circumstances, and that's the key of success. Thank you very much. God bless you
Thank you very much,
again.
sir.
Thanks for the organizers who brought such a wonderful speaker. And your journey is exemplary, but you have made it. You have made it. That is very important, that you have made it and successfully, despite all these things against you. But you have converted them into the opportunity, and that is the message should be given by all teachers, participants, to their juniors, to the students, and keep it up. That is the way to educate to give lessons to our students. Thank you very much, Vandana. Congratulations. Thank you,
Thank you very
everybody.
much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Sir, thank you so much, Officer. Thank you so much, and to all the participants and to Satish Anand sir. Sir, I want to share something with you. मैं ये FDP organize तो जरूर करी थी, पर बहुत घबराहट हो रही थी. This is the first time I am organizing such a this FDP on such a large scale, and sir has been a motivation for me throughout. हर चीज मैं उन्हीं से पूछती हूँ, and he has been guiding me throughout. Sir, thank you so much. It's all because of your efforts and your guidance I could do all this. I request, humble request from my side that participants should unmute their mic while the presentation is on, because I can hear number of voices. इसलिए मैंने बीच में mute all कर दिया था, तो सतीश आनंद सर भी mute हो गए थे. Please take care. आप अपने mics mute कर दीजिए, so that there is no disturbance while the session is on. And now moving on ahead. We have a national inaugural ceremony. It will be starting from 12 o'clock, and I've already shared the link with you. You can also watch it on YouTube live, but please be back by 1:45. While you are watching the national opening ceremony, I request all of you to have your lunch on time, so that you are back by 1:45. And we have with us an eminent speaker from IIT Kanpur, Professor J. Ramkumar sir. He would be addressing us. So kindly be on time. We'll get back. All of you will be back by 1:45. Meanwhile, you can join the inaugural ceremony. Satish Anand sir, thank you so
Thank you
much
very
for.
much, ma'am.
I am really very thankful from the bottom of my heart, because मैंने आपको 2 ही दिन पहले बोला था, और आपने इतने willingly accept किया मेरा invitation, and thank you once again, sir. And it was really
सौभाग्य की
motivating.
बात है. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I request all the participants once again to please mute their mics, please. It's a humble request. Jyoti Soni, please, can you please mute your mic? Jyoti Soni, please.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So we'll be back by 1:45.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
We are still trying hard. We are still trying hard to help others to join in.
Madam, same link.
जी?
Hello,
जी?
same link.
आप कौन बोल रहे हैं सर? क्या बोलना चाह रहे हैं?
Using same link, he is asking.
Yes, using same link, exactly, same link. अभी ये सब चलता रहेगा. I'm not closing it. आप बस rejoin कर लीजिए, या आप join रहिए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. अगर आप YouTube से उसमें join करना चाहते हैं तो YouTube पे join कर लीजिए. Please do.
Yeah,
And thank
okay,
you,
ma'am.
thanks to all the participants.
हेलो मैडम
जी
जो ये सेशन है राम कुमार सर का जो सेशन है उसके लिए तो सर उसके लिए तो यूट्यूब नहीं चलेगा ना उसके लिए तो इसी पर आना पड़ेगा
नहीं सर उसके लिए
हाँ,
यूट्यूब नहीं चलेगा सर
उसके लिए ओनली जो इनॉग्रेशन सेरेमनी है उसके लिए यूट्यूब चलेगा ना मैडम यूट्यूब या फेसबुक लाइव
रिकॉर्डिंग के बाद सर FDP वहाँ पे जाएगा AICT और वहाँ से फिर अपलोड हो जाएगा सो दैट आगे आने वाले समय में लोग उसको सुन पाए.
जी मतलब इनॉग्रेशन सेरेमनी के लिए ओनली यूट्यूब चलेगा ना मैडम फिर तो यही लिंक है
सर यूट्यूब से भी चल जाएगा या मैंने आप लोग को लिंक भी शेयर किया आप उससे भी जा सकते हैं.
जी और मैडम जो AICT की वेबसाइट है तो जितना भी जो एमिनेंट स्पीकर्स के जो भी मतलब PPT होगा या उनकी रिकॉर्डिंग होगी तो उस पर आ जाएगी या फिर आप लोग शेयर करेंगे या फिर
जी सर हम उसी पे शेयर करेंगे और फिर वो आपको दिखेगा वहीं से होगा सर शेयर कर
तो मैडम
पड़ेगा फिर.
हाँ मतलब जैसे कि मैडम नाइट वगैरह में जो चीजें कंसेप्ट फिर से समझने होंगे तो नाइट में बैठ के रिकॉर्डेड वीडियो देखे जा सकें इसलिए पूछ रहा था.
बिल्कुल सर बिल्कुल सर.
मैडम डे टू डे हो जाएगा ना मतलब जहाँ पर हमारा जो हमारा अटल का लिंक है वहाँ पर जाकर
मैं वहाँ पे अपलोड कर दूंगी. अब वो कब अपलोड करते हैं वो मैं उनसे पूछ के आपको कल तक जवाब दूंगी सर.
जी
मैं
मैडम
हेलो मैडम
Madam, 1 minute. Madam, what is the procedure to give the attendances, madam?
सर मेरे पास ऑटोमेटिक रिकॉर्ड हो रही है, मेरा प्लेटफॉर्म ऐसा है कि आपकी अटेंडेंस रिकॉर्ड हो रही है मेरे पास।
Madam, please speak in English. Madam,
Okay,
please
okay.
speak in
I'm so
English.
sorry. Okay, I'm so sorry. The platform which I am using, it automatically records your attendance. Am I clear now?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, madam. There is no other attendance link.
No, you need not bother
There is
about the attendance link, sir, because your attendance is being recorded in this platform. Please don't worry, sir.
Okay.
Please don't worry.
Madam, may we
Madam,
leave?
is it Madam?
Yes,
Is
sir.
it possible to fill the feedback form, madam? Now, not required.
No, sir. Abhi to feedback form has not been given to us. The day it will be given, I will share it on the email, and you can thereafter fill, sir.
Okay, madam. Thank you so much.
Welcome, sir. Any other queries if you have, you can ask, please.
Okay, madam, may we leave now, this session?
Sure, sir, you can leave. Sure, you can leave.
Hello?
Hello? Yes?
Ma'am, I have one question.
Yes, sir.
For entire 5 days, I need to use this link, or you will be sending some other links for each
No,
day?
sir, you have to use the same link for entire 5-day session.
Okay.
If the need be, I'll send the link. If the need be, I'll send the link to you. I already have the mail ID, so you already got the link through the mail ID, na? If the need be, I will forward the same to you through your email, sir. Anything else? Anything else, sir?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
Ma'am, what about the test?
Test will be on the last day at 4 to 4:30. Half an hour test. That's all. 50 questions, carrying 2 marks each. Multiple choice. Don't worry about that, ma'am. Anything
Okay,
else?
thank you.
Anybody else? Would you like to ask any question, please?
Ma'am, can we get an attendance certificate regarding this session, ma'am?
Attendance certificate you want regarding this session?
Like we want to submit in our college, like we were attended this like a 5 days program like that.
Ma'am, just a moment. You can click a photograph for yourself. You can just take a snapshot. Your name is already there in the list of participants. Your name, please, ma'am, please.
Asma Kosar, ma'am.
Asma.
Yes, ma'am. Asma.
Ma'am, but I can't see. आपका नाम नहीं दिख रहा मुझे. I cannot see your name.
Asma, ma'am. AS बोल के है मैम. देखिए. Asma.
मैम मेरे को पहला नाम दिख रहा है ए भार्गव, दूसरा अभिजीत जेकब, तीसरा अखिल, चौथा अमन, पांचवा अनीश, देन अंकुर विश्वकर्मा, देन अनूप कुमार सूद, अर्जुन, अरुण कुमार, अभिजीत. आपका नाम नहीं दिख रहा
पहले
मैम.
अस्मा है मैम. अभिजीत से पहले अस्मा है. मेरा उसमें दिख रहा.
अच्छा, मुझे नहीं दिख रहा आपका नाम. अगर आपको दिख रहा है तो मैम आप एक स्नैपशॉट ले लीजिए प्लीज. मुझे नहीं दिख रहा.
ऐसा है कि आप हम लोग ऐसा गवर्नमेंट पॉलिटेक्निक से है. So they may ask like you were attended some 5 days program like that. If you can have.
मैम उसके बाद जो अटेंडेंस शीट निकलेगी ना, वो मैं आपको मेल जरूर कर सकती हूँ. आप बिल्कुल चिंता मत करिए. जी. जो फाइनल निकलेगी ना अटेंडेंस शीट, तो मैं आपको मेल कर दूंगी. आप मुझे दोबारा रिमाइंड करा दीजिएगा, मैं आपको भेज दूंगी. कोई इशू नहीं मैम, बिल्कुल परेशान मत होइए उसके लिए. Any other questions? और कुछ मैम?
नहीं मैम, थैंक
यू. ओके मैम.
पार्टिसिपेशन सर्टिफिकेट विल बी गिवन, नो
मैम? पार्टिसिपेशन का सर्टिफिकेट AICT ही इशू करेगी. वो कह रहे हैं आपको, हमको अपनी तरफ से कुछ नहीं इशू करना है. प्रोवाइडेड दी अटेंडेंस इज 80% एंड आपके मार्क्स जो आएंगे टेस्ट में 60%. दैट्स ऑल मैम, और कुछ भी नहीं. जी. Any other questions? Any other questions, please?
Madam, attendance session wise or wise, madam?
Sir, the platform which I am using, it is already recorded session wise. The attendance is already being recorded session wise. So don't worry, sir. Please don't worry. जी जी
This is pronunciation very much last week.
your voice is not clear, sir. Please, can you repeat the question, sir? Hello. Hello. Can you repeat the question, sir? I think Shankara Naik, sir. You want to say something, sir?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, my name is coming as HODAUE. Will it be sufficient or I have to change my name in by any means?
आपने कोई बात नहीं सर, बाद में कर लेंगे. आपने एक्चुअली मेल आईडीज है ना सबके.
Yes.
It is recognized in that form.
That was the
actually.
official mail ID. That
Yeah. HODAUE. That's I can see here also.
Yeah.
कोई दिक्कत
It's for the automobile engineering actually.
कोई दिक्कत नहीं सर. Don't worry. Please don't worry.
Okay. It will be sufficient, I think.
हाँ जी, it will be sufficient, sir.
Okay.
More than sufficient, sir. Don't worry about that.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Anybody else? You want to ask something?